Good morning on this Friday, the 4th of December, and be saying farewell after this video. Our college closes for the year next week, and there's a lot of things we've got to do to tidy up for that and set up for next year. We're not sure what's happening next year because our teaching blocks might be spread over a somewhat extended period, which may mean that I won't have time to record these. If our classes are restricted to 20, which would be the venue we were using last year, then I can see teaching going over about a 10-week or even a 12-week period as we fit people in. Today, however, I'd go with a fairly important reading, and this particular scene is actually an art installation in the Queensland country town of Jericho. And it is the story of the Battle of Jericho, done in sculpture from local materials. The small little building behind me actually has a bit of a description of how the artwork works. But I thought I'd read from Joshua chapter 5, just before we get to the fall of Jericho, because this is one of these things that when you least expect it, God breaks in the most unexpected ways. And reading from verse 13 of chapter 5. While Joshua was near Jericho, he suddenly saw a man standing in front of him holding a sword. Joshua went up to him and asked, "Are you one of our soldiers or an enemy?" "Neither," said the man. "I am here as the commander of the Lord's army." Joshua threw himself on the ground and worshipped and said, "I am your servant. What do you want me to do?" And the commander of the Lord's army told him, "Take your sandals off. You are standing on holy ground." And Joshua did as he was told. This is Joshua's preparation for the first of the removals of the warlords in the land of Israel. That everything that happens next, the battle, the fall of the walls, the rescuing of Rahab, who's regularly called a harlot, but I think given the fact that there were warlords pinching crops and wine and local daughters, the word we would use these days would probably be more accurately described as comfort woman. She wasn't there willingly. All of that stuff. Before all of that stuff happens, God meets with Joshua. Who's the man with the sword? This vision of God is almost certainly the person of Jesus before his incarnation. Whose side is he on? He's not on Joshua's or the other person's side. He is on his own side. So that in the midst of all these other things that are happening, the most important thing, even though we're tied up with stuff that's important to us, of anguish to us, strains us, encompasses our whole imaginations, the thing which is really important is to love and to serve God. Now, as you prepare to go into Christmas, as you prepare to spend time with family over Christmas time, those of you who are able, my prayer is that you will rejoice in that and know God's love now and always. And for those of you who are my students, I look forward to seeing you in the new year. Lord, we pray the next year will go smoother and be better than this year. Bring healing, bring hope, as you have always done, our